And thank you for joining us on KGW News at noon. I'm Tim Gordon. Chris McGinnis will join us in a few minutes for a look at your forecast. But first, a look at this afternoon's top stories. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is searching for more potential victims after they arrested this man, 36-year-old Andrew Graham, on sexual assault charges. Investigators say he met the victim on a dating app and sexually assaulted them in Portland and near Metzger Park. Undercover detectives messaged him and led him to believe he was still talking to his victim. They say Graham expressed wanting to meet a child to pay for sex. Detectives believe there may be other victims and would like to speak with anyone who has additional information. The city of Portland continues to try to address one of its biggest challenges, homelessness. Mayor Keith Wilson opened more shelter beds in his first year in office, meeting his goal to add 1,500 overnight shelter beds to address the crisis. Well, some say it's good the city is making progress. Others think more needs to be done to help people seeking treatment for their physical or mental health or struggling with addiction. And the celebrations were top tier after a historic victory for the Oregon Ducks in their first ever Orange Bowl. The fifth-seeded Oregon Ducks defeated number 4 Texas Tech 23-0. The Ducks are headed to Atlanta now for next Friday's Peach Bowl, the semifinal in the college football playoff. Well, on New Year's Eve, President Donald Trump announced he's dropping his push to deploy National Guard troops in U.S. cities like Portland. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has a look at how we got here.
The back half of 2025 became a tense showdown between the federal government and state and local leaders here in Portland. Protests sparked in June and were in full swing at the ICE facility in South Portland in response to masked ICE agents arresting immigrants across the country. Thousands marched nationwide in No Kings protest against the Trump administration. That protest led to peaceful demonstrations at the ICE facility, though a small group decided to camp outside the building, where there were some clashes between protesters and federal agents.
I personally have been maced 6 times, pepperballed quite a few.
In August, Trump border czar Tom Homan threatened to send National Guard troops to Portland after an unannounced trip to the ICE facility. A month later, President Trump followed through, federalizing 200 Guard members, and frequently disparaged Portland as state leaders fired back.
You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole.
We do not need or want federal troops in Oregon.
The troop authorization set off a flurry of legal battles, tying President Trump's plans up in court. All the while, National Guard members remained on standby. Eventually, a federal judge barred the Trump administration from deploying the troops. And days before Christmas, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration in a similar case in Chicago, leading President Trump to announce recently on social media that he was at least temporarily pausing plans to try to send National Guard members here in Portland. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, let's get a check now on our weather with Chris McGinnis. Hey,
Okay,
Chris.
well, after a really drippy morning, we've had a chance to dry out just a little bit, Tim, but as fast as, well, not as fast. The rain's already quickly moving back in, I guess is what I wanted to say. And we've got that rain now pushing through the Oregon Coast Range, working its way towards, well, central Polk County and into Yamhill and Washington County. So within the next 60 to 90 minutes, I think we will see some light rain returning to the Portland-Vancouver metro area for the mid-afternoon commute. One thing you're going to notice when you step outside today is that it's warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty chilly day. Today we're a good 5 to 8 degrees warmer, not only in the metro area, but across the state than we were yesterday at this time. That's what this map is showing us, the change in temperatures from yesterday at noon to today at noon. Right now, as we look from the springs of the waterfront in Vancouver, slate gray sky out there with a few bright spots as we're in between raindrops right now. It's 44 right now at Pearson Airfield. It's 45 at PDX and it's 46 in Salem. As we mentioned, the rain quickly moving back in as we go into the mid-afternoon hours here. Not heavy, but certainly enough to weten the roadways up a little bit, make for potentially a wet beginning of your afternoon commute. Another soaker coming in, well, steadier rain, I should say, coming in later tonight. So here's a look at the afternoon planner. Light rain now between about 1 and 3 o'clock. That should taper off later with temperatures inching into the 50s, mostly cloudy at 8 o'clock, and then more rain back in the forecast tonight. So we've got rain, a little bit of wind coming our way for late Saturday and Sunday. I'll walk you through that with Futurecast in just a few minutes. And a reasonable shot at some good Cascade snow middle of next week. We're focused on Tuesday and Wednesday for that. We'll check that out in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Chris. See you then. Portland police have identified the person accused of stabbing someone in a Southeast Portland Safeway store. Police say that around 10 a.m. yesterday morning, 51-year-old Christopher Woods stabbed and robbed a 77-year-old man in the bathroom of the Safeway store on 122nd. The victim taken to the hospital, their current conditions unknown. Woods faces felony assault and robbery charges and is set to be in court this afternoon. Deputies in Washington County caught an 18-year-old and 3 juveniles after they allegedly broke into cars in the Bethany area. It happened late Tuesday night along Northwest Country Ridge Drive. Investigators say when deputies spotted the 4 of them in a car, they jumped out and took off running. A canine was called in to help find them. The 18-year-old faces charges of reckless driving and attempting to elude. The Department of Health and Human Services has announced that it's freezing all federal child care payments to the state of Minnesota after alleged fraud claims. This comes in the wake of a viral video that claimed child care facilities across the state run by Somali immigrants weren't actually open to children, a claim that hasn't been independently verified or proven. Minnesota's governor pushed back, saying the state has spent years cracking down on fraud and the president is, quote, politicizing the issue to defund the programs. Well, that investigation and the viral video is apparently sparking harassment in Washington state. Attorney General Nick Brown says daycares run by Somali people are being targeted by unsubstantiated claims of fraud. He says, quote, showing up on someone's porch, threatening or harassing them isn't an investigation. Neither is filming minors who may be in the home. This is unsafe and potentially dangerous behavior, end quote. Brown is encouraging daycares to report harassment to the police or his office. State police in New Hampshire say a Beaverton man is dead after a truck hit him on this historic bridge between New Hampshire and Vermont. Troopers say in early December, 52-year-old Michael Iwanchuk was hit while walking on the Cornish-Windsor covered bridge, built in 1886 and one of the longest covered bridges in the country. He died in the hospital on Monday. The truck driver remained on the scene. So far, no charges have been filed. Monthly bills for Pacific Power customers are set to decrease a little bit in the new year. The average homeowner will see about a $1 drop per month. That's because of an adjustment in expected power source costs. More rate changes could be coming in April. You got to check this out. There's a unique vessel you might notice floating our local rivers. This is the Ebb and Ember floating sauna. Yes, floating sauna. Gives you the chance to relax in the heat of a sauna out on the water there, then cycle out on the deck to take in the cool winter air, or even a cold river plunge if you want. Then jump back into the sauna, of course, to heat back up. Had its grand opening yesterday.
I want to pick up people from downtown Portland, downtown Vancouver, come down here, and then get out on the Columbia and explore our riverways, get on the Willamette.
Wow, that's pretty cool. The boat is docked in Northeast Portland, and you can book it and check out Ebb and Ember on Instagram for more information on that. Well, caught on camera in Rhode Island, firefighters rush to the rescue after a dog falls through thin ice on a pond. The good news, Phoenix, the yellow lab, is okay this afternoon. Plus, from Social Security to healthcare costs, lots of policy changes went into effect on New Year's Day. How they'll affect your wallet.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. If your New Year's resolution involves budgeting, you might want to take note of some federal policy changes that could affect your Social Security benefits, healthcare costs, and more. Amy Kiley has the details.
It's a new year, and new federal changes that start today could affect Americans' wallets and lives. For some seniors, money could get a bit tighter. Social Security recipients are getting a 2.8% cost of living increase. The administration's earnings test, wage cap, and maximum benefit also are going up. But Medicare Part B premium costs are rising almost $18 a month. That's one of the largest increases in the program's history. Add inflation, and the net result could be in the red for some seniors. Meanwhile, millions of people on Obamacare are facing much steeper costs. Pandemic-era subsidies are gone as of today.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double.
This is the first regular tax season with changes in effect from a bill signed in July. They include higher standard and SALT deductions, as well as new breaks for seniors, car loan interest, tips, and overtime.
Those very important things, put more money in working class people's pockets.
A proclamation out yesterday delays tariff hikes on some furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities that were set to begin on New Year's Day. Finally, the president's travel ban is now expanded to 39 countries.
The American complaint is that these countries pose national security and public safety threats.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, a little trippy out there this afternoon, but kind of a wet weekend forecast. Here's a look at the graph model suggesting anywhere from maybe an inch to an inch and a quarter of rain in the Willamette Valley over the next 2 days here, rolling through our Saturday and Sunday. We'll break that down coming up in just a few minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
For decades, city and state leaders have tried to bring a public market back to downtown Portland. Now a new state-of-the-art market on Southwest 6th at Alder may not be far away. Thomas Schultz has the story.
We've all heard the saying, out with the old, in with the new. But what if the old is irreplaceable?
Everything has been demoed over the last few months, revealing this beautiful kind of open space.
Jessica Elkin is the executive director of the James Beard Public Market. She says over the next couple of years, this building, framed with old-growth Oregon timber, will be restored into a 3-story market, flush with 38 vendors.
We have everything from an egg vendor, a butcher, a fishmonger, a full production bakery.
To become the James Beard Public Market.
It's a place where you can come and do your daily shopping, or it's a place you can gather with friends.
It's something Portland has lacked since 1941, when the last public market closed down. Now Elkin says it's time to bring it back.
It's the right time.
The idea is this will not only be a hotspot for tourists, but a place where locals shop routinely, revitalizing downtown and spurring growth.
We're creating a civic landmark.
A downtown landmark in a building ready for a renewed purpose.
Portland doesn't want a public market. We need a public market.
In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Well, project leaders say the first markets could open by the end of 2026. They're hopeful the market will be in full swing by 2027. Well, less than 2 weeks after announcing it planned to close its Old Town location, Deadstock Coffee says it's found a new space inside the nearby Hoxton Hotel. The sneaker-themed coffee shop opened a decade ago on Northwest Cooch and 4th. The opening of its new location is set for sometime in March. Good for them. And caught on camera in Rhode Island, a fire department helped to rescue a dog stuck in a pond Thursday morning, but don't worry, the dog's fine. Officials say Phoenix, a yellow lab, was out walking with its owner when he wandered onto the pond and fell through a thin layer of ice out there. You can see him working to get him out of there now. Volunteers, they rescued him from the water, and firefighters are evaluating that dog for possible hypothermia, but the pup did not require treatment. Wow, right in there to get him. That's great.
Ice so dangerous.
It certainly is. You just don't know.
Of course, we have not been cold enough to have a lot of ice out here. We do have a little bit of snow in the weekend forecast up in the Cascades, and then potentially a good shot of snow middle of next week. So let's get into that real quick. For anyone traveling this weekend to and from Central Oregon, I wanted to point this out. Snow levels today are way on up there, and they will be tomorrow. But later Sunday and Sunday night, those snow levels drop to between 4,000 and 3,500 feet, which means Cascade passes late Sunday could start to get a little slick. I don't think we're looking at big snow up there, but certainly something you want to be prepared for. Now, moving forward into next week, the snow levels do dip. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, look at this. We're down to, about 3,000 feet or so for the snow level, coinciding with this. A pretty good cold trough here coming in from the Gulf of Alaska will drop not one, but 2 significant rounds of precipitation. So this translates to snow up in the Cascades here on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. So with some luck here, we could be looking at maybe 8 to 16 inches plus at the ski resorts for the middle of next week. So that's great news. This is not. This is what it looks like right now up at Timberline. We heard that Mount Hood Meadows is actually closed today because the snow is just too saturated with rain. And at 6,000 feet on Mount Hood at Timberline right now, it's 39 degrees. No snow up there today or tomorrow, but beginning Sunday, we'll start to get a little bit, and then as we mentioned, the middle of next week could be quite snowy. Live right now from the Springs at the waterfront. It's cloudy, it's dry, it's 44. It's a little warmer right now than it was yesterday this time. And Futurecast actually likes the temperatures getting even warmer than I originally suspected here, maybe into the mid-50s here in Portland. So certainly a milder day today. Yesterday we only got to 41, and that was at midnight. So yesterday was a chilly day. The next day or two, not so much, with highs in the mid-50s. Let's check out the satellite radar loop and show you again. We've got a little break in the rain right now, but there is another little slug here coming its way our way, and it will be washing back over the Portland metro area within the next 1 to 3 hours. So expect that as you get out and about later today. Pretty impressive looking storm system here spiraling offshore. The good news is it's a long ways away and the intensity will lessen as it gets closer, but it will bring with it a little bit of wind tomorrow. This is Futurecast tomorrow night, pegging south wind gusts in the valley on the order of 15 to 25 miles an hour overnight tomorrow night, and then again during the day on Sunday. So Sunday will be pretty breezy and fairly wet from time to time as well. Here's what Futurecast shows us this afternoon. Again, that next round of rain pivoting on through later this afternoon and then working its way out. Another round of rain comes through overnight. We may have some dry time tomorrow, but also be aware that there will be rounds of rain spiraling on in as we go through the day on Saturday and Sunday. So on and off wet this weekend. Let's go ahead and show you how wet as we break down Futurecast. The little bit of rainfall that we get today, not overly significant, a few more hundredths of an inch. But tomorrow, certainly wet with upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 inch possible. and we'll tack on another quarter to a half an inch of rain on Sunday, meaning that when you put the whole weekend together, it's going to be fairly wet. Occasional rain tomorrow, breezy and rainy on Sunday. The temperature starting to cool a little bit. That coincides with lowering snow levels in the Cascades. If you need a dry day, late Monday, early Tuesday look like the dry time in the 7-day forecast. Thereafter, we get a 1-2 punch with those Pacific storms coming in on Wednesday, or I should say late Tuesday night and Wednesday, and that, of course, will come with some pretty good Cascade snow.
Okay,
Tim?
we like that. Thanks, Chris. Speed, physics, and a lot of courage. Ski jumpers soar more than 300 feet at over 55 miles an hour, and every move counts. Just ahead, a closer look at the gravity-defying sport at the Winter Games.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, ski jumping is part speed, physics, and grace. Cheryl Preheim has more on the gravity-defying sport at the Winter Games.
Ski jumping is one of the most thrilling events at the Winter Olympics. Athletes race down a steep ramp, take off, then soar through the air. When you see an athlete launching off that ramp, they are literally flying for several seconds at speeds over 55 miles per hour. It's a mix of courage, technique, and precision. A tiny shift in posture can mean the difference between a medal and a crash. And just when you think it's over, the landing is crucial. Sticking it perfectly can add valuable points. 5 judges score them on distance and style. That means body position, balance, and how cleanly they land. Because the Olympians can fly more than 300 feet in the air, wind is a factor. There's wind and gate compensation factored into the overall score. Olympic ski jumping is part physics, part fearlessness, and 100% adrenaline.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Well, the Vancouver Police Department is starting off the new year by adding a new member to its team. On your screen now is Canine Loki. The 2-year-old German Shepherd from Norway is joining Vancouver police officer Corey Rose. The pair just finished 600 hours of training and is dual certified in patrol and narcotics detection.
Happy dog.
Yeah,
Why it's
definitely.
still there. All right, so a little wet this afternoon. Rain returns, light rain. The rain tomorrow will be a little heavier, be a little breezy as well this weekend, and quite mild until we cool it off next week.
All right, Chris, thanks. And a reminder, we've added more live news to KGW Plus. Tune in to Sunrise exclusively on KGW Plus from 7 to 9 and later tonight at 5:30. We'll see you then. Have a great afternoon.